Okay, let's take a look and see how we can start an electrical floor plan or electrical file for our cup project. So I'm going to do a new file. And there we go. And I need to look around for the electrical. So there it is, electrical default. That's the one we want. That's got tons of stuff loaded into it to make our job easy. So I'm going to pick that electrical default and open it and say OK. And of course, it'll take a while to open up. There it goes. It started. And so the first thing to notice is the electrical includes lighting and power. And in this particular class, we're dealing with power distribution. So I'm going to minimize lighting. And so there we go. We've got our floor plan 1-power. And of course, we need to link our architectural file and our CAD file. So let's go and see if I can find those things. Here they are. There's my demo. And there is my one with floors and doors. So there's my architectural file. And I can get those moved a little bit if I feel like it. I'm going to just hide them in a moment. So right click, hide that category in the view. And I do need to see where everything is located. So I'm going to have to link in my CAD file. So that gets going, but that's a little bit too heavy. And I think you all know how to do this, but I'm gonna show it anyway. Here's my visibility and graphics. And I'm going to go to my imported categories, and I'm going to make that thing a halftone. Now it's sort of in the background for me. A little bit easier for me to work with. So here's a big part of what we want to do. So I'll go ahead and save my file now. Remember, we're saving as a project. And I've made a new folder for electrical work, and so I'll call this Demo 2 just to have it set aside. There's another thing that I like to do that will be a little bit useful. It'll be very useful, and that's to put our system browser up. So let's go to the View tab and the User Interface tab in the upper right. Click on it and then select System Browser. And I can hover over that little interface right there and pull it to the left so it's a little bit bigger. And I'm not going to look at all the disciplines. I'm going to look at my electrical. Okay, and then when I open it up, okay, I can be looking here, and also when I'm going to open it up a little bit farther. Once I start seeing things, I'm going to need to go into my column settings, and I need to turn off all of these things that are not electrical. So that's under General, and I cleared it all. And under Electrical, I want load, voltage, and it's probably a good idea. See if I can get the amps. Oh, that's my load, actually. So that looks okay. Those are the two things that I need. So now I can move this back over again. So when I see stuff, it'll show up there. The next thing I have to do is I have to get some equipment and devices into my file to be useful. So this is going to be under Systems. And I'm going to put in electrical equipment first. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting in the junction boxes for each of these motors. So the transfer pump motors, the compressor motor, and we're not going to do these two little ones or anything electrical with the sand filters or the actual electrical for the chillers and things like that. We're doing all the transfer pumps. Okay, and so each pump has a name. They've got these things called VFD on the wall, variable frequency drives. It's a little bit older style of doing things. Now variable frequency drives are much more integrated into the motor control package and are more likely to be right on the pump stand, the pump base. So we're just going to put a junction box right here and just put a big panel in the wall. Now these types of pumps are usually in the range of, say, 2 to 10 horsepower. And so that's going to take 480 volts, 3-phase. And you're going to see in Revit there's one called 460 volt, 3-phase, and that's what we're going to put in. Okay, so I need to have a power panel that I can hook junction boxes to so the wires can come out and drive the motors. So electrical equipment, click, and load fan. So there are some panel boards here, but I don't see any. Well, there's a 480 lighting and appliance, but I'm not positive if that's 3-phase. So let's go find one and see if I can find it. It's going to be under electrical, MEP, electric power, distribution. Let's see if there's one in here. 480 volts. I'm going to make this bigger. 480 volt circuit mount. Let's take a look and see what it says on it. See if that one is. Pretty sure that that one's going to be 3-phase. So let's see if that's already in here. Let's put one of those in and see if that's correct. I'm going to do a 400 amp for right now. Click, drag it over, put it on the wall, and let's just see what it says. It says 400 amps. As I'm moving down, A, B, C, it's 3-phase. It is 3-phase, so that's really good. Okay, and there's my location. Max number here is a little bit off. That's going to have to get much bigger. 480 volt, 3-phase. So that's going to be an okay one for us to use. Let's see if there are any others that might be better for us. Electric power, distribution, 480 volt, 480 volt. See, it's hard to tell what these ones are. They don't do the greatest job saying what all of those are. See what that one is if I put that one in. That one's also 480 volt. Let's just see if this has any different stuff in it. It looks like it's all pretty much the same. So that's what we're going to want. We're going to want our lighting and appliance panel board. I don't want an MLO. I want an MCB, magnetic circuit breaker. So let's take that one off and put in my magnetic circuit breaker one. There it is. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to need a lot of amps. So let's go with the 400 amp one for right now. Put it in. just somewhere over near these VFDs. There we go. And I don't have anything hooked up to it yet, so that's okay. The other thing I'm going to need is, let's take a look at our devices and see what's in here. Just a standard duplex, so I need to load something a little bit bigger. So this is going to be a load junction box. Let's see if it'll let me do it. There it goes. So I've got a loaded junction box that I can put in there. And I'll just put one in there just anywhere for right now, just to get my file started. Nope, that's 120. Let's see, junction boxes, no load. So that's just a 120. Let me go find, I don't want that one. Let's go find another one. Devices, load a family. Junction box is loaded. Should be able to go in there. Now I should be able to check. There we go. It's got much more of them. There it is. 4-inch square 480 3-phase. That's the one that I want to have in here. Click, bring it over, and just put one in here just so that we know that we can get it. And the last thing to do is just make sure that that will connect to your panel. So go to Power, select your panel, and it did connect. So I'm okay. So that's your start. There's things we're going to do with these later on, but now I know I've got just about everything that I need to be able to put these things in. Okay, the other thing that we're going to use is a cable tray. Okay, and you can pick which one. I'm used to seeing these ladder style ones so that you can put cable trays along the wall, things like that, and they're a certain distance off the ground, and you lay your cables in there so that they're just not running all over the place. Okay, but that is for sure already in the default. Okay, so there we go. That's how to set up your file.